Thank you for joining it. So today we have another art session, and the inspiration is from Aham Art. Before we begin, let's begin with a word of prayer. Thank you, Father God, for this blessed and beautiful evening. Thank you for everything that you've done for us in the past days. Thank you for bringing us together here yet another evening to praise you, to worship you, to honor you, and to share the talents that whatever you give to us, Father God. So we ask you that you will be amidst us in this time and help us to learn something new and share with others as well, Lord. Thank you for everything that you do for us. We pray and ask that you will be with us and help us and guide us through in the coming days as well, Lord. We give everything into your hands. We pray and ask all this in your mighty and precious name, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay. So for today's session, we are going to do a winter sunset. For that, the colors that we need is, I will go through all the materials. I just want to be sure that I have everything out here. Okay, so I'm using a 8x10 panel. And this is the all times I use the same panel. So 8x10, and it helps you with all the learning purposes. So this is very simple and easy to use. So that's my panel here. And for the colors that I'm going to use is, we have an orange bright sky. So I'm using orange. Okay. And to go with orange, we need white. So we have white as well. Okay. And just gonna... okay. Okay. So we have white. And then if you can pick up an yellow, it could be a medium yellow, or it could be just an yellow, any yellows that you have. Bat yellow with white, we will be using it. That's for the sky that we would be using it. And then if you don't have purple color, if you don't have purple, then you can mix a little bit of blue with your red or magenta and white if you don't have purple. But if you have purple, then we will use purple with white. Okay. So we have a color combination coming in there. So that's what I'll let you know when exactly it's coming up. And then for the trees, we have brown. So you can use either a burnt umber or a burnt sienna or a brown. Okay. And a little pinch of black would be used, not too much, just a little pinch. So you need black as well. So those are the colors for this particular painting. And the brushes we would be using is, as always, I would prefer to use this long flat brush with the rounded ends. This would be for our sky. So we use this one. If you don't have this, we can use a flat brush. If you have a brush like this, a flat brush, a square brush, you can use this as well. Okay. Any of those brushes will be good. And for the trees, if you have a fan brush, we can use a fan brush, or we could use a round brush, or we could use a flat small brush. Any of the brushes will do. There is no particular way of using these brushes. Anything will do. And for the tree branches, we can use thin round brush. So basically, if you have a round brush, we can use a round brush, or if you want to try with some other brushes, we can try with that. Okay. And as always, have a foam plate or a ceramic plate for your palette, 2 containers of water. So 2 containers of water, a washcloth or a napkin, because you need to wipe up all your paints and keep your brushes neat. So you could use a napkin. Okay. And I'm sorry if you hear loud voices here, it's because of the hailstorm. We have a nice hailstorm going on here. So be safe. That's all I can say. Okay, guys. So with that, let's begin. And I'm going to use, for my first, on the top part, I'm still here. I would be using an orange shade here. So I'm going to go give it orange. And it's going to be the plain orange. I'm not going to mix anything here. If you would like to, if your orange is really, really bright, then you can use a little bit of white towards it. But otherwise, I'm going to use just plain orange. And then I'm going to use yellow. So I'm going to have it in my palette here. I'll show you how much I have here. That's yellow. And I'm going to use some white. Okay. So here is my yellow, orange, and white. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of water and I'm going to take my orange. Okay. I want it a little dark here. So make sure that you go across the board. Okay, on the top, at least I want it nice and dark. Okay. So on the top part, if you can make it nice and dark, it's good. And as you're coming in gradually down, just drag the brushes. Just drag the brush down. It's fine. And as you're dragging it down, take your yellow with a little bit of white. I didn't change my brush yet. The same brush. Take the yellow and then bring it into the palette, like into your painting. Okay, that's going to be a beautiful yellow in color. And blend it well along with your other color as well. So you're just blending it in. So it will be like the orangish yellow color. Okay, and as it is coming down, I'm just going to use a little tint of white. And if it is too much of orangish in color, don't worry, we can add more of yellow to it. So I want you to bring it till maybe down till what I have done. Maybe half the palette, half the canvas. And if it is too, if it is not yellowish in color, make sure that you add a little bit of more yellow towards it, and then you can bring it down. Okay, so you will have the orange sky, you will have the bit of yellowish sky in between. Okay, and if the orange is not so bright, make sure that you use a more of orange. Again, blend your sky into your into the painting. Okay, so you should have something like this. And I just want to make sure I'm making it a little more darker in the top part. So I'm just using a little bit more of dark, the same orange, just on the top. Okay, so that's your orange and yellow. Okay, so you should have at least bits and pieces of orange and yellow here. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that I have more of my yellow also down. Just plain yellow, no other color mixed up with it. So I'm just taking that. So just a plain yellow. Because if you have too much of orangish there, just to remove it off. Okay, just the plain yellow. So you have the orange, orangish yellow, and then you have the plain yellow. Okay, that's all. And now I would like you to take your fan brush, big or small, whichever you have. I'm going to take this fan brush. I'm going to dip it into my orange paint. And I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. Okay. I'm going to make some trees here. Can you see? Okay, just trying to make some shadowy trees with the orange. I'm not dipped again in the paint or anywhere. Just in what I have in my brush. That's what I'm trying to do. Just irregular here, there, wherever you could give some trees. It's a very, very simple painting. It's easy to do, not so hard. And you know what? The more you start practicing, you're going to get it. And anybody can do it. Okay. So same way, go here. And I've not used any other colors, or I've not dipped into any more orange. I'm just using what's there in the brush. Just giving a background of trees. See, just a background of trees. I'm not done. Now I'm dipping into a little bit of orange just to give a little bit more colors here. Okay, so here, there, everywhere, wherever you could give. And that's all I've done. And as you're giving in, so you should be having something behind, like if it is too light, just make sure it is a little bit more darker. If it is too light, if it is dark, it's fine. Mine was looking very, very dull and light. Okay, so that's all I did. Now, as I said, if you have your purple, if you can take the purple, mix it with little bit of white. I'll show you what I'm trying to get in here. So I have a purple there. So I have my purple here and I have white and I want a light color. Okay, very light. So I'm just using maximum of my white there. And this is what I need. Okay. And with that, with the same brush, I'm going here. Okay. So probably if you want to give it like this, you could give it like this, just a base. And with that base, you could go give purple. And all I want to do is just to give the purple. Okay, because when it is wintry and when it is like we have the little bit of sunset colors coming up, you will have the purplish color seen more in the snow. Okay. Okay. So I'm just trying to bring a little bit of colors into the picture. Okay. So that's your light purple, not too dark, very light. And I'm just using the same brush, which has got that little tint of orange. Okay. So just go a little higher. Okay. So here and there, wherever you could give. And then I'm going to use a little bit of white and just to highlight it in little places. See? It's the same brush. I've not changed my brush. It's just the same brush, but a little bit of purple more. So you can see that different colors see. Okay. And only in the base, not anywhere else. And don't worry if it is too much more or less or anything. It's your painting. You're doing it beautiful. You're awesome. So never, ever doubt about that. Okay. So that's all I want to do here. Some trees here and there, some colors there. Okay. And as it is a little bit there, dark, I just want to give a little dark tint of purple. Because mine, when the color became very light, when it started to dry, it became very light. So that just little bit of a darker hue. Okay. Just, you should be having now 3-4 colors that has been seen there. And as you're doing it, make sure that now we are done with the brushes, with these 2 brushes. I want you to take a thin brush, your thin brush, and with your thin brush, we are going to draw some trees and branches here. I'll show you what we're going to do. And for that, if you want to dip it into your, little bit of brown and the purple to give a darker shade. So I'll show you what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to have a little bit of more orange. And then to the orange. Okay, let's make, so here orange, and then I'm going to take a little bit of purple. Okay, a little bit of white. So you'll get this lightish, light brown color. Okay, that should be good for us. And to make it a little bit more darker, you can use the purple. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw some trees. Okay. And with the trees, make sure that you can draw some branches. And if it is too purplish in color, you can mix some orange. Make it a little bit more darker. So that we can do it. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that I go do some branches. Okay, you can do your branches anyhow you want to. Okay, just start doing some branches here and there, trees and everything. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I'm going to do some branches and trees and everything. At least I'll go from this side. You can do however you want, wherever you want to give it. Okay. All we are doing is just to give some trees and branches in the picture. And you can do it anywhere you want to give it in the picture, but just behind those purple and the orange shades. Okay. So all we're doing is just to make sure there are some trees and then some branches coming out here and there. Okay. You can draw as many as you want. Okay. And some can go big, some can go small. And it can be empty, like, no leaves for now. All we're trying to do is just to make sure that we give some branches. And make sure the tree, the trunk, even if it is not visibly seen, at least it comes down. Okay. And some it can be very dark too. Okay. Keep doing it. And, when you've done so much good enough, then yeah, you don't have to overdo it. And these trees are all yours. So if whatever you do, it's good. Okay. Wherever you want to give in, you can. I'm just, drawing as my hand moves in. Because we're going to cover up all these with leaves and everything. So, but we need to do the branches. Okay. And continue doing it till you get some branches on the other side as well. I'm going to do some longer branches. Okay. So make sure that there are gaps are all filled up with trees and branches or anything, so it doesn't look very left out any places. Okay. And oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So few trees, few branches, few going up, few coming down. Okay, so the lighter branches are all done. Now to get a little bit more darker branches, I'm going to use a dark brown. You could use the burnt sienna or the dark brown that you have in your hand. I'm going to use a little bit of more of a dark brown, which is mine. Mine is a burnt umber. So I'm going to use that to show a little defined trees in the front. Okay, I'll show you what I'm trying to say here. So I'm going to use that little bit of my shader brush here. Okay. Okay, something on a dark shade. So I'm just giving some darker branches in the center, in the sides here. Okay, something a little bit darker than what we've done before. So some are light, some are dark. So this just brings the contrast to the picture and it looks nice. Okay. And make sure that your tree trunks are not too thin for the trees in the front. You can make it a little bit more darker and make it like stick trees kind of thing. Okay. Some branches really thick and dark and nice. It's up to you how many you want to do, how much time you want to give for all these branches and trees. Just make few dark ones, that's all. Okay. And then maybe something of a different outlook. A tree which is broken off. Okay, just a slight slanting tree. So there, that one branch is going off, and then, so however you want to do the trees, please go ahead and do it with the branches where you feel like. It's going to be different for each one of us, so it's okay. So all I'm doing is just to give some darker trees and branches here. Okay, so it brings a contrast in the picture. That's all. Okay, few can be going up, few can be coming down. Okay. And however you want to do it, you can do it, guys. So I've just given few trees here and there. I've made sure that, here, everywhere, wherever I could give some lighter shades of trees. Okay, I've given them. Okay, so that's my tree trunks. And I'm kind of okay with my tree trunks. I don't want to do more of my tree trunks here. Okay, and with that same color, what I'm going to do is I am going to give a Christmas tree also, if I can give in. If you can give just a Christmas tree kind of a look. Just a different tree, that's all. Okay. There. Okay. Just a different tree. Maybe here one more. Okay. So here, there, wherever, if you feel like you want to give in some, just go ahead and give it. Because in the forest or in the tree, in the dark areas, you can see any kind of trees that's growing up. Okay, so all I've done was that. Sorry, and now we're going to give some snow layers. So what I want you to do is take a flat brush. Where's my flat brush gone? My flat brush. I'm just going to take some purple and white. Okay, I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. Now I'm trying to give the snowy look. Okay. So we're going to cover up with this area with snow. Let's see how much we are going to cover. Okay. So just move your brush just in this way. So what happens, you can actually get that texture also into that snow. Okay. And that's what we are trying to bring in. So that's your purple and white. You can use magenta, blue, and white as well to get this color. Okay. So that's the blue, the purple and the white that I'm trying to bring it in. So slowly, if you start seeing it, you can see the snowy colors. Okay, and a little bit of more on the darker side. I'm just going to get a little bit of brown and to bring it closer to the, okay, just like a, what do you say? Just take that brown and all I'm going to go and do is like, just to give a layer of brown sand. See? All I did was just take a little bit of brown and do it like this. And, slowly on top of it also, if you can drag the paint up, it looks like the dried twigs and leaves. Okay. So if all you're doing is just to make sure that you're giving some defined layer there. And I'm going to make sure that I have some snow white here near the tree, so I don't forget about that. Okay. So closer to that area of the brown, all I'm doing is just to highlight it with a little bit of that snowy white. Okay, so now you can see that snowy white that's coming there. And okay, so to make sure that my purple looks purple, all I'm going to do is making sure that I have that purplish color there. Purple. Just to make sure that the purple color is seen nicely, okay? And I'm going to bring in some more white. So with the white, yeah, drag the paint, and so you can get that beautiful purple color. Okay. So that's all. That's for the purplish thing. Now, with your brown, now we're going to make some, as I said, we have to make some, what do you say, snowy rocks, but in light, in a lighter brown color. Okay. So just drag the paint, that brown. So slowly, if you drag it, you would be able to get that particular texture for the mountains, like that small ridges and stones that you want to create there. See, and this is just to as the snow falls down, there will be that ground layer that is being shown, and that's what we are trying to show here. And before we forget, let's make sure that I do this one also. Okay. Don't draw, but just try to pull the paints up and down. So then you can get that beautiful layer itself. And I'm using a flat brush. Okay, so this is just to show that there's something happening within that snowy area with the soil also. And I'm just using a darker brown. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. Just here and there some ridges. And if you want to give in some white and purple in between, you can do so. just to highlight it. So this just highlights that particular color. See, just here and there when you start putting it, then it becomes beautiful. And you can do it, guys. It's not very difficult at all. You can make it happen. And that's all I've done. Okay, here and there when you start putting in those whites, it will show up well. Okay, and preferably the white with purple. More the white, it'll be nice. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure that I have more of white. Towards that border where you've done the border, you can give in some more white. So this just highlights that snow is there and then something else happening out around that area. Okay. So basically you've done that. And then a little bit of snowish soil the side. So then the tree, that bump of the tree is seen very nicely. Okay. And as you do that, we have more of colors coming up. Let's do the other part of the snow as well, which is the purple and white. So let's take the purple and let's take the white. So just drag the paint, like, if like how you want to give some shape as the water is flowing. Okay, so just as the water is coming down, so this is that snow stuff there, and it is just still the light purple. And I'm gonna leave it like this with some purple. Okay, so that's my snow stuff there. Okay, you can do it however you want to. I've just given it like this. Okay, and then slowly I'm going to introduce the sky colors down here. So with the same flat brush, I'm going to take orange. I've washed this brush well, and I'm going to take my orange. Okay, so all I'm doing is just to make sure I'm able to bring some shadow into the water. And as you're bringing those colors in, take your yellow as much as you can, and that's what we are going to do. Blend those colors in. So blend those colors beautifully in. And as we are blending in, we use some white to get the lighter shade of that color. That's the yellow. Okay, that's your yellowish color, which we are bringing in. And that's with more of white. So use your white, yellow, orange. And what we're kind of bringing is more of that shaded color from the sky. Okay. And I'm using more of the white now. So you can use the white, and I've not changed my brush yet. It's the same brush. All I'm done is like, using that tint of that orange and white, which is there already. Okay. See, all I've done was using that white, orange. I've just brought in those colors in. And if you feel that the yellow is light, or you want to make it a little bit more visibly seen, you can use a little bit of yellow towards the right side of your painting to bring that yellow shade in. And make sure that you're kind of blending it into the picture with the paint. Okay, so that that shade comes out very well. And if you find the orange is less, use a bit of more orange. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use a little tint of more orange. Just to make it a little bit more darker. And then you can take the paint, move it around using a little tint of white so that you can get that beautiful shade. So you're actually mixing those colors in well. Okay. So that's your orange. But if you feel that the orange is very dark, very light, you can make it a little bit more darker. Okay. So that's all I've done. I'm just going to use a little tint of water, little bit, so that the dryness, what I see here, is taken off. Okay. And then make sure that you bring your paints in. If it is too dark, use white and blend it in. All you have to do is use white to blend, and it comes out beautifully. But make sure that the stroke is always the same kind of stroke. It's not in a different way. Okay, so that's your stroked up water there. And now to this, we are going to use that little bit of brown which we had, and the same brush I'm using. I've not changed my brush yet. With a little bit of brown that we have here. Okay, my brown is gone already, so I have to use a little bit of brown. And I'll show you what I'm trying to say here. Okay, little bit of brown towards that showed area. Okay, and all you're doing is just wave your brush here and there. Okay, so it just falls out. Okay, just drag the paint from up to down with this brush, and it just keeps falling down. So what you're trying to give is the tree shadow here. Okay, and you're doing it with a little bit of dark and light. As the shade falls down, you're just trying to give that particular look for the water there. Okay, and it comes straight. Okay, it's just going to come in straight. I'm going to use a little bit of more dark in betweens. If it is dark also, it's fine, but make sure it comes straight down. Okay, as you're bringing it down, just bring that closer to the um, ground here. See? And then as it comes here, again, it goes very dark because of the trees here. And slowly move this here so that you can form the reflection very slowly. See? Slowly here, if you kind of move this here and there, you will find the reflections coming out. And that's how you create those reflections into the water. And then here as well, a little bit more darker. I'm just using brown. Pull it from top to bottom if you can. Okay. And then slowly on the side, in the side here, wherever you can feel that there is trees coming up, and then slowly drag the paint here and there. And that's it. See, you don't have to do so much of work into this. All we've done was to make sure that the colors all come in together. Okay. And that's what that is. Now let's go back to our tree. We'll get back to our water soon. So for the tree, I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to make sure that I dip it into my purple and the yellow and the white, purple and white, and go up here into my branches, making sure I give some look of trees with flowers and stuff. But this is all with snow, so nothing much is going to happen. So that's with your purple and white. Here and there. Okay. And that's, again, as I said, it's purple and white. Onto your branches. Okay. If it is less also, it's fine. You don't have to overdo it. Okay. Very less here and there. And as it is here on the closer side, probably a little bit more. Okay. And you can use a little bit of white to the purple and making sure there are some with that different colors. Yeah. So if you see, you've created that beautiful wintry colors here. And we should be good. We don't want to do anything more, but we should be fine. Okay. So for me, it looks good. Probably I'll put some more of that paint near those branches here. Yeah. Okay. Just few to make it look different. Okay. There. and as branches and leaves are coming out, let it come out. And maybe I'm going to give some few branches just going to be sticking out. Okay, just like that. So just it gives you that picture there. And then probably I'm gonna make this one a little bit darker with the brown. Okay, it's just with the brown. I'm not doing anything else. Okay. Okay, and as it is tapering out here as well, I just want to make sure that I give that brown. Okay, and then here, and this is all that same brown. Okay, so this now brings in that beautiful, and then in between the trees, that those marks and everything. So if you kind of bring it together down, okay, as the trees come by, we can make that happen. Just drag your paints here and there, and you should be good. Okay, and let me see if we have finished or if we have something more to do. Yes, we can actually do something more towards this soil sand also. Like, if you can just, because all those dried twigs and everything. Okay, so you can do some with the same brush, just move it here and there so it shows that little bit of rich activity there. And that's all I'm doing it. And then maybe draw some twigs here and there. Just no, you don't have to do it. Okay, now it shows that there is something happening there, right? And here somewhere. So now it gives you that natural look of your sky, your water, as well as your um, ground here. And probably I'm just going to use some more of white just to highlight my soil, what's happening there. So with the same brown and white which I had in my brush, I just have some thicker paint. So what happens is, like, when you have a thicker paint, it shows that there's lots of snow there. Okay, just like this. And you can go ahead and do it. Make sure that you can use that wherever you can use the white, use it. If you have lots of paint that's left over in your palette, make sure everywhere in your painting it's all connected to each other and you're doing beautiful. So don't worry about it. Your painting is absolutely gorgeous. Whatever you do, it's yours. So always remember, you have good talents and you can do much, much better as you use it. See? And that's all we did. We kind of, made sure that there are something happening with our painting everywhere. And yeah, do some tweaks, do some soil stuff and everything, so that what happens is, like, it looks more natural there. So I think I'm pretty much okay with these trees. Probably if I want to give in, maybe I'll take a little bit of orange. I just want to give that back. I'll show you where I'm doing. So this one, like this. Okay, just here and there a little bit so that, that beautiful orange also just, it shows out very well. Okay. As you finish your painting, you will find that there are lots of places and lots of things that you would like to do. Please go ahead and do it, whatever you feel like you want to do. So I am just adding some more orange towards this picture because when I see when the painting got dried, when I saw that the orange looked very light for me. So all I did was just to add some more orange, just to bring that three colors there. Okay. And anything else that you want to add in, go ahead and do it. It's your trees, it's yours. And everything what we do is beautiful. Okay. So don't worry about that. And I think probably I'm kind of good, maybe a little bit of browns, just two lines or something, just a streak of lines from here to here, just to show that, something is happening here. Okay, so just a very, very light, just a show off there. And then if I can add some snow towards this side so that, I have uh, that shown up well as well. And towards that part, if I have to add up some more, I can make sure that I add up some browns. Okay, so that the floor looks natural. And it can be, it doesn't have to be very straight and just the same. It can be a little bit of bumpy as well. Okay, that means with lots of snows. That's what I did. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how my painting has come by. You can add in anything more you want to do. It's up to you. You don't have to if you don't want to. Again, it's your choice. And I'm just gonna add some more purple hues here just to define that snow colors. So you can use the purplish hue towards closer to that ground. So it just shows you that snowy look. That's all. Nothing much it does to your painting, and it can be closer to your all the bumps that you have placed in. Okay. So I think we are kind of good with this, and I'm just gonna make sure that this is not too dark, but there is that. Okay. Okay. Kind of okay. So that's my winter landscape painting, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll take off the recording and I shall take any questions if you have. And see you next week.